Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Tuesday, August 1st. We're going to take a look at Clover Health today. And CLOV's been on a bit of an uptick, but obviously is beaten down, beaten down, beaten down. Ah, there we go. I was wondering where all the old chart levels would be. So let's delete those and let's just make a brand new chart. And I think we have enough price action to stay on the daily here and just work from there. I'm going to zoom in a bit, but this gives us price action back to late 2022. And we're already in August, like I said, so I think we're okay with that. Very nice level here. You see, try to catch support there, tried again, fell through, came up, dinged its head off of it twice, and almost a third time, but it recently has confirmed support there and is trying to push off. So we'll see if it gets any oomph from there. What's all this bottoming out? Okay. So bottoming it out, we're not quite there yet. I'd be kind of curious to see if it comes down and tries to confirm this 120 level as support or not. But that seems like a pretty solid level to me. Now let's start to look closer into where we are, slash potentially to the upside, if we dare be sort of bullish on stocks anymore. Okay, so we put a level in here. Sorry, my computer is on a bit of a lag. Did I capture that correctly? Let's put it in right about here. It's a little bit messy over here and here. It's sort of wrestling, but in between, you see, keeps hitting it as resistance and does the same here. Tries to grab support, loses it, and tries again here. So that 131 level, so really, really right about where it is now, it's going to be a question of can it get through that, because that seems to have historically proven to be pretty tough level for it to not get stuck at. And then let's see where this kind of shakes out. There's not a ton of price action here. I mean, I could say here, these get pretty close in, especially with the price being so low, but we get kind of limited on price action between these levels because there's just not a ton of it to go off of here. Okay, and we'll put in maybe one more to the upside and one more to the downside. I would like to get something on the downside a little bit closer to 1, just in case it does dip, maybe give some levels to look at. Okay, so that gives us levels up over 150, so I think that that's a fair enough place to leave it for now. We can always come back if it moves through it and folks are interested. Here, let's see, where do we want this level? Yeah, these get a little bit tricky. Okay, that I didn't realize until I looked over that was actually exactly in the dollar level. But just to be aware, my question was, is it actually more toward 97? So that's kind of the question for me. Is it a dollar, just below a dollar? I would tend to say it's probably the psychological level of the dollar, but the tight in, like if it does kind of fall through that level and there's a little bit of like panic selling around there, 97 might be the next one that kind of makes sense. But like I said, that's a ways to go. It's a pretty hefty drop percentage wise. So if that happens, we could certainly come back and take a look at it. But let's flip over to Think or Swim and see how that looks. Now this setup is obviously different. You see here, this is coming in to catch resistance. Or I can't remember if this is the 180 EMA cloud. Trying to see where my setup is here. Oh man, I set this up so long ago. But in any case, let's zoom in and just pay attention to the channel. So a few times recently, I mean, even back here, in May, it was popping itself out of the channel, came back down, and it unfortunately didn't get caught in the mid-range of the channel, which is what I usually hope for if a stock is showing some bullish momentum. But it came down and pressed all the way to the bottom of the channel, hit its head again at the top, and then stretched again all the way down to the bottom, and now is pushing up out above, and then came down not even to the mid-range of the channel, which is this bright blue line here, and is once again poking its head out of the channel. So, good good action there. I'm pretty interested to see if it can get any motion, consistently out of the channel. It's not unheard of for the stock to be able to push and spend several days outside of the channel and then sort of pull back into the channel. Could be a good sort of pullback opportunity if that's what you're looking for, if you're willing to kind of wait it out. So I know it's hard to not chase sometimes, but that's how it goes. Look at this the squeeze histogram here. It's we had this one brief trigger, and I've seen this a lot recently where there's, instead of this long trigger like you see here, several days and then firing, and it doesn't actually go much of anywhere. Eventually it does, but it takes it a bunch of time to get going. But I have seen several recently where it just has this one day, this one red dot trigger, and then it fires, and it's a really solid move. So we saw that here, on this day, this price action was down here, right below that dollar level that we talked about. And, so percentage gain wise, that's like pretty massive moves. So good on CLOV. We'll see if it can continue. And it's getting obviously into overbought territory. Not surprising, sort of what you would expect, but it can spend several days in there before it sort of pulls back, and it may not always pull back this much. So sort of interested to see where this one goes. It's a price point that in certain retail environments gets a lot of attention. That's those low cost potential growth stocks, I guess we could say. So that's what it looks like here to me, and it's building some bullish momentum obviously through these days, but it's it's kind of waffling a bit. It's not as clean as this one, where it very clearly was building and then it very clearly was waning. And even this one was a little bit rickety, but not too bad. This one's already has a couple of blips in the screen, but it was, where you saw this sort of die down in momentum was when it pulled back fully into the channel. I know it's partially in the channel here, but it's also partially out. But here, when it pulled back fully, that's when it sort of had that hiccup in the clean momentum run. So I'm interested to see if it continues to hiccup or if it can push through and kind of keep its momentum high or not. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.